Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be covering HLX and where we are now. I apologize for the delay in the video. I was sick, kind of like right after the Game Awards happened. I got pretty sick, and I've been out for a couple days from a lot of things, but we're back now. And so I'm kind of making this video, probably one of the final videos of the year, on kind of where we are now with HLX. I kind of talked about it in the live stream. You can go watch the replay now, but no one's gonna comb through 4 hours of footage. So I'm kind of gonna I don't know, make it a little more concise here. So we're gonna talk about kind of where we are. So no HLX this year. It's not gonna happen. Valve will be going on winter break, if I believe they already have. And so now we're looking at next year, early next year. We have learned some new information about why things are being delayed. According to Tyler McVicker, something wasn't right with the rollout. Something wasn't perfect to them, of course, and so they decided not to do it. That's in Valve custom, of course. But also, it seems like pricing is a big problem. They are planning on announcing it alongside the Steam hardware. That's what they're planning on doing. So, and because of tariffs and increasing prices for things like RAM and stuff, it's very hard to do that because they're having trouble pricing the new Steam hardware affordably. They're having a big issue doing that. It's a big problem for them. So that's kind of their main problem, and so we're kind of worried now what the pricing is going to be and how the release is going to be with the new Steam hardware, because it's going to be a problem. We're hoping they can make the early 2026 deadline. And as far as HLX goes itself, Tyler was saying that basically if it's not announced between the beginning of 2026 and like when Gamescom happens, or like your Summer Games Fest, I forget, I think it's Summer Games Fest. I'm sorry. It's not going to be announced at Summer Games Fest. That literally won't happen. But in that like time frame, then something major has changed with the game. They want, their plan was to announce it like at the end of this year, and it was that plan for a while until it kind of changed rather soon ago. Rather, it wasn't like a while ago that this plans changed. So yeah, so it's going to be next year most likely, or hopefully early 2026 along with the hardware. That's what we're praying. They might get pushed back the hardware as well to like mid 2026. We don't know, but we're hoping it's early 2026. At least, for the hardware, which is HLS will be announced alongside by. But just in terms of the game announcement, if regardless of whether it's announced with the hardware or not, if it's not announced in like the first half of 2026, then some major plans have changed. So Tyler was talking about like how Half-Life Alyx was basically finished at the end of 2018, and then they play tested it to a bunch of people and they hated the story, so they ripped out the story and then spent a year putting a new story into the existing timeline of events and stuff in the game, and then announced it at the end of 2019. It delayed it by a full year, basically. Instead of being announced in late 2018 and releasing in 2019, it was announced in late 2019 and released in early 2020. So it just delayed it by a full year, because the story was shit, and playtesters didn't like it. So that's possible. There's no indication that that's what's happened with this, but that is possible. That is absolutely possible. That could be a very valid reason of why it wasn't announced at the end of this year. Maybe they decided the story was shit. Okay, we're going to take a year and do literally the exact same thing again. Again, there's no indication that that's the case. And it was the plan. It was known that the plan was to announce it late this year, like November, December, whatever, for a while now. That was their plan. Up until very recently. So I don't really think that's the case. In my opinion, I think we're gonna see an announcement within the first half of 2026. Like, I'm being optimistic. Like, obviously they said early 2026 for the hardware, which is gonna coincide with the announcement of HLX. So that's kind of like the frame we have. Early 2026 would probably be like January to March. That would be like the window there for early 2026. But again, that could be pushed to mid 2026 because of pricing and stuff. So we're being conservative and we're saying the first quarter one and quarter two of 2026, the first half. We're giving some space there. Um, and again, if it's not announced in that time period, then something happened with the development of the game. It's not going to be canceled. It's not going to get canceled. But something happened where they're now taking longer. They're changing things and whatever, which again is a very Valve thing to do. That's not something that is surprising. Um, so there's that. There is that. And we're just kind of working with what we have here. It's this is kind of just a recap. Game Awards was a huge fucking letdown. My God. It was just shit in general. To be honest, there were some decent games. Requiem's looking amazing, which we will be playing that. Why is my video being laggy? Okay, it just came back to normal. Sure, okay, whatever. So that's kind of what we're working with here. As far as I know, Valve's plan was to announce HLX this year, late this year. I think originally it was going to be October, then it got pushed to November, then it got pushed to December. Like it just kept getting pushed back. And they don't rush things. They will take it to get things. They'll take time to get things right. So it will happen randomly. And so actually, what I found out about Half-Life Alyx's announcement that I really kind of forgot about. My video is being fucking weird. I don't know why it's being like this right now. Was that HLX, sorry, Half-Life Alyx, while it was announced on a Monday and then the trailer was on a Thursday, the only reason it was announced on the Monday was because an interview leaked about them talking about it. Obviously, that put the cat out of the bag, so they had to kind of do damage control and talk about it. But the original plan was just to announce it with the trailer on that Thursday. So I was wrong in saying, I think I did say it before, how it could be a Monday because it happened before. No, that was like a one-time thing. It was like a damage control scenario. That will not happen. It doesn't things don't happen on Mondays. It'll be in sometime probably in the middle of the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like around there. That's most likely. In my opinion at least. Or looking back at their history too. That's most likely. And it'll probably be announced alongside the trailer. And if Tyler McVicker is right, that the rumor of the trailer being worked on started in like mid to late October, he said it takes about 2 to 3 months to for them to make the trailers. So, that would make sense for the early 2026 timeline. So we're kind of still looking at that. It's Valve. You can't track these people. You can't track these motherfuckers. It's just not possible. We're a group of selective people. We're all trying to figure out, the movement of this company. And none of us have any information from the inside. So, it's just like, it's impossible. We're going off of fucking nothing, basically. It's fun though. But we're working, and I'm excited. We kind of have a solid time frame now, and I'm excited for the new Steam hardware as well. But historically, every major piece of Valve hardware has been released alongside software. That's what Gabe Newell even talked about. His kind of goal. It's like that's the ideal thing. Not only to have like a free ecosystem, like PC ecosystem and everything, like with all the hardware that they're doing now, but also to announce the software alongside it and partner it together. He said that was like the dream to do that. And that's what they've always done. So nine times out of 10 chance it's going to be announced alongside the Steam hardware. That just makes sense. It's gonna be like a Steam machine, flagship basically. Because Steam Frame's VR, they're not doing it's not a VR game. You can play it in the Steam Frame. It can do like big theater gaming, but that wouldn't make sense to partner with that. So it will be released alongside or announced alongside the hardware. It would make sense. I mean, they announced the release of the hard. Obviously they're going to announce the prices and the pre-orders are going to go out. Unless they skip the pre-order phase, which I did hear about. I think I heard some rumor that there might be no pre-orders and it's just like straight to direct. I know they already have they already have a bunch of stuff in production, so we might be skipping the whole pre-order and it might actually just go straight to direct production and you can just buy it and get it delivered. No waiting. So that'd be cool. I heard a rumor about that. Um, but my guess, most likely scenario, hardware is announced in the first half of 2026. Hardware is announced, becomes available for purchase. HLX is announced alongside that. And then, HLX will be released later in the year, obviously, when everybody, has their hardware and stuff. So, again, we're not saying HLX is going to be released in early 2026. It's going to be announced. So, it's going to be like, okay, say it's announced in March, then it's going to be released probably late 2026. Again, unless it was delayed a year like Half-Life Alyx, or if that's how things work it out. Things are very fluid right now. Things are very fluid and things are moving. So nothing's really set in stone. Um, when it is announcement day, though, there's always kind of a stir in the air. It was the same way with the Index and Half-Life Alyx. Um, there's always a stir in the air. Like even when the Steam hardware got announced back on November 12th, or early November, earlier this year, like a month ago or so. That day the date was talked about for like 2 weeks then, and then like an hour or two before it got announced, oh, the pictures of the hardware leaked. Like there's always a stir in the air. You know what I mean? So kind of look out for that. Going into it, like there will be some talk. It's going to be something usually. Um, but it will be random. It will most likely, just like the hardware. Um, I'm sure there'll be discussion about it beforehand, but it will be random. It will just be a random tweet. That's how they announce things. It'll be, it'll be a coincided tweet. Maybe they're going to announce it in the same tweet. I don't know. Um, it could be like a day or two apart. That's possible. We're like, okay, releasing the hardware. 1 or 2 days later, here's HLX. Like they could do that. It will be within like a very, very close vicinity though. The announcements, like they won't be far apart at all. So, you know, again, Valve doesn't do anything unless they're confident. They don't fuck around. They're in a monopoly position in the industry where they have Steam. They can take risks. They can do whatever the fuck they want. So they're not obligated to anybody. So if they want to rip out the story of the game and take another year to release it, they'll fucking do it. They have no obligation to anybody, and they will take the time to get things exactly how they want them. And they'll have it optimized perfectly. Optimization is a whole nother rant. The state of optimization in the fucking industry is ridiculous. But they will take their time and they will do what they want to make it perfect in their eyes. So don't people who are saying, oh, well, they're trying to catch this deadline, and no, that's not Valve. Valve will never care, has never cared about other people's deadlines or about the industry's deadlines or about, oh, we're gonna try to make it in time to announce it at this festival. No, they don't fucking care. If the timing works up perfectly, magically, then okay, maybe they'll show something off there. They will never announce something at a show. They will never do that because they don't have control of fan reaction. They don't have control of the fans' reactions. Artifact. They don't have control of the fans' reactions, and so they can do damage control and have control over the reaction when they do it themselves. They do it independently. Like Half-Life Alyx, they were originally going to show it off at the Game Awards after they announced it. They will never announce something at the Game Awards or at any festival or any show for that matter. They might show something off there. They will never announce it there. To make that perfectly clear, Valve is independent. They will do whatever the fuck they want. That's the end game. That's the end of the line here. Anyone who's saying, oh, they're trying to meet this deadline, or they want it to be on this day because this was, Half-Life's anniversary. No. They don't care. They don't care that Half-Life was released on this day, or that they don't give a shit. They don't care about that. They'll announce it when they're good and ready. They don't care about that. So ignore this shit about, oh, there's this date and that date. No. Nobody knows a date. There is no fucking date. It was the same thing back in November. Oh, Half-Life was announced this. They were right. November is a historically Half-Life month, so that was a decent assumption. But this whole shit about, oh, this was released that day, they don't care about that. If it coincides, fantastic. It's magical, coincidental timing. They don't care about that in the slightest. I can promise you that. Like that, they don't care. They do not care at all. Sorry, I'm like ranting here, but it annoys me. It annoys me when I see people trying to talk about dates and trying to say like, oh, this is a possible. No, it's not. You don't know anything. Nobody knows a date. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Um, Nobody knows, and I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that Valve was giving out fake dates internally to push out leakers. They did it with Half-Life Alyx as well. Um, it's a waiting game. It's just a waiting game. Um, and only listen to people that are trustworthy. I know I'm a small YouTuber, so take that with a grain of salt, if you will. But I do give my opinions, but I state them clearly that they're opinions, speculation, obviously, and I only get my information, like you all should, from credible sources, from people like Tyler McVicker, Mike Straw, insiders like this. Those are the people that I listen to, and only them. Do not listen to headlines. Do not listen to the media. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just trying to get clicks. Don't listen to random people online who are theorizing. They don't know what they're talking about. The insiders don't even know what they're talking about. The only people who have an inkling of what's going on is the insiders, or these people here who have credible connections. And even with those credible connections, they're very selective about what they say. So I'm telling you, if you want valid information to go off of, only listen to people who get their information from those leakers or insiders like me, or from those insiders and stuff directly. Period. Don't listen to random people on Twitter who are posting, some fucking slop or whatever. Don't listen to them. Is it fun to engage in the hopium? Yeah, absolutely. It's all fun and games. I engage in it a little bit. It's fun. But when it comes down to the end of the day, I want to make it very clear, as everyone else has, who is an insider or leaker or whatever, because I don't want people to get their hopes up. There is no date. There is nothing known yet. We have a vague window. We have Valve saying early 2026, a window of 3 months, January to March. That's our window, basically. That's our next window to look at. A bigger window would be Q1 and Q2, the first half of next year. But so it's a waiting game. So, here we are, just sitting here talking. I really wish I put this video out sooner, but I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. I just couldn't. I wasn't up to it. I was really planning to do it the morning after the Game Awards, and that would have been perfect timing. But that didn't work out, unfortunately. But one can do so much. Anyway, we're back from the hiatus. We're back from being sick. I know I haven't uploaded in a couple days. I try to upload pretty regularly, almost every day. But we're back now, and I'm happy to be back. And yeah, here we are. Apart from that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going out to Best Buy today, get some products. We're gonna do some product reviews. I'm gonna get a new keyboard, because I'm not gonna upgrade my laptop, my computer, my laptop, whatever. I'm not gonna upgrade it yet. It's not operating at a poor enough. Like, I know I was talking about it in, I think it was recording Dark Interval. I haven't even released that series yet. Fuck. I spoiled that. But I know, my computer is fine. It runs games perfectly fine. And it's more just me being entitled by saying I need a new computer. I really don't. This could definitely go for another couple years. It's not bad enough at all. I wouldn't consider this bad to a point where I need to upgrade it yet. That's not the case. So I'm not gonna do that. But I know my keyboard, I've been complaining, like my Z and X key don't work, my W key is spotty, my S key doesn't work. It's an issue with Asus laptops. I know it's a consistent thing. I've seen it online. And so I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars and get it repaired. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a external keyboard, a high quality one, and just use that instead and put it in front of my laptop, and that's going to work perfectly fine. It'll be better quality. It'll honestly be better to play with. Because I can't deal with this keyboard anymore. Like, I was trying to play Fortnite the other day. I was hopping on it for the first time in 2 years probably. I'm good at Fortnite. Like, I'm really good at it, but I am struggling because my keys just don't fucking work. I can't go backwards in games because my S key is broken. The W key just doesn't want to work sometimes, and I can't move. So it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of it. And it's pissing me off when I'm recording videos because I can't play the game correctly. So I'm sick of it. I'm just going there today, and I'm just gonna get a decent external keyboard and just use that, because I'm just sick of dealing with this. Anyway, that's a second rant right there. But yeah, and then I plan to get a new 4K webcam at some point. the Logitech Brio 4K. But yeah, apart from that, see you guys in the next video. Peace.